Let's start off by being honest. No matter who you are, everyone wants a nice backside. If you don't agree, then the rest of this video is probably not right for you. But for the rest of us, we appreciate a nice backside when we see it, and we desire to have a nice butt of our own. However, there is more to the glutes than meets the eye. So let's talk about it. The glutes play much more of a role than filling out a nice pair of jeans or yoga pants. The glutes, among other muscles, play a critical role in protecting our hips, our knees, and yes, our lower back. The glutes are the biggest muscle in the body, so you better believe that they have a major responsibility. Before we jump into the world's greatest exercises for the butt, in my personal and professional opinion, of course, let's first discuss some of the common injuries that surround the hips. Maybe one of these ailments rings a bell, and it is the reason why you're here today. Hip bursitis. Let's start off with the self-test. Stand up and place your palms on the outside of your hips. Now, run your palm down to the outside of your leg. On the way down, did you notice a bump or a bony protuberance, if you will, where your hip met your leg? That is called the greater trochanter and is part of your femur, aka your leg bone. Pain here happens when the bursa, which is a fluid-filled sac that helps reduce friction, becomes inflamed. Now, while there can be innumerable mechanisms of injury that lead to an irritated bursa, some of the most common contributors that we see here in the clinic are tight anterior hips, particularly an overactive tensor fascia lata, otherwise known as the TFL. So, how can we show that TFL some TLC? I'm going to show you the best ways to foam roll and stretch to help encourage the TFL to relax and hopefully help decompress the greater trochanteric bursa. Furthermore, I would definitely recommend stretching out the front of your hips and foam rolling your quads while you're at it. Here are my favorite moves. TFL foam rolling. Quad foam rolling. Psoas stretch. Couch stretch. Open half kneel hip drive. Now let's talk about piriformis syndrome. If you are in the sports medicine industry, you probably know that on social media, this is kind of the controversial syndrome of the month. I'm going to give you the 100-word or less synopsis of really what's being debated. Let's call these two people Bob and Sean.
So you know, piriformis syndrome doesn't exist. So let's just change the name.
What do you mean it doesn't exist? Don't people have pain driven by the piriformis?
Yes, but not everyone. So we shouldn't label a specific diagnosis if there are many muscles that can contribute to pain. Let's call it deep gluteal pain syndrome to be safe.
They already know that they have deep gluteal pain. Is keeping it vague gonna help the patient feel confident about their outcome? Would you treat the patient any differently than if they had piriformis syndrome?
No, I would treat it the same.
So really, it sounds like your goal here is sounding smart over serving the patient.
For the record, it was originally spelled with a Y instead of an I. So there you go.
So, no matter what it's called today, tomorrow, or a year from now, how we approach and treat piriformis syndrome will remain largely the same. And just like any other injury or condition, there is no ubiquitous cause of pain. That said, there generally are common themes. So, if you suspect you have piriformis syndrome, here are 3 general rehab drills we recommend to help calm down the piriformis, reduce irritation at or around the sciatic nerve, and increase strength and capacity in your lateral hip musculature. Piriformis rolling with a foam roller or lacrosse ball. Seated or supine piriformis stretch. Clamshells. And finally, the moment I'm sure you've all been waiting for. Here are the 8 best exercises we recommend for strengthening your glutes and supporting your hips. Enjoy.